Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. We got a lot to talk about, and it's going to be around racism, the concept of racism, the new strategy of the left as it pertains to Donald Trump and what he's doing with the NFL and the NBA and all this. The stuff that I will show you today will showcase liberalism at its finest, which, of course, means the worst that man can be. You're going to learn things and go, holy cow, Kevin, thanks for helping me put that together. I promise you I'm going to do it. And I alluded to it in the previous segment where I talked about people being afraid. Black people that can achieve are afraid to come beyond that. I'll use Oprah Winfrey, for example. Oprah Winfrey's not afraid. See, Oprah Winfrey honed a skill set. I'm no fan of hers, but I want to explain what I mean. She's honed a skill set. She talks to people. She understands. She's distorted in her views, but Oprah's not afraid. That's why I don't think Oprah's going to speak out on the NFL issue. I haven't heard anything from her because she's not afraid. Oprah has learned how to deal with white folks and all different kinds of people, and she's a talker. Her skill set isn't bouncing a basketball or throwing a football or catching one or running one or anything close to that. Her skill set is in dealing with people and at least learning how to emote. The problem we have in the black community is you don't get much of that. You don't get, you either want to be a rapper, you want to be, a Beyonce, a singer, whatever, rapper, singer. You want to be a movie star, or you want to be a sports figure. How many people, I want to grow up and be a talk show host. I've never heard a black person say that. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I'm saying it's not the pervasive thing. They've never said, I want to grow up and be a media mogul. I've given you the things that we choose. So LeBron James and all these athletes, they're good with a football, a basketball, or whatever. Let me tell you what they are. They are dummies. Dumb to their crazy, disingenuous cores. They're so dumb, they fall for everything that the left said. Black lives matter, man. Black people getting in. And my contention has been for all the NFL stuff. Name me one, to take all these black athletes that took a knee, every one of them. Look at every city where they went on Saturday night and who knows, partied or stayed in their hotel rooms, getting ready for the game the next day. The visitors, and even the people who live there, right? The home team and the visiting team. Line them all up, put a gun to their head and say, shh, tell me the name of the last person killed last night in the city where you're about to play this football game. Black person killed by another black person. Name them. You'd get silence. I'm talking about where does the NFL play its football games? Do they play their football games in, BFE, Jesus, Montgomery, little town out in the USA? No, of course not. They play their football games in big cities. Yeah. So you got Baltimore, you got Cleveland, you got Detroit, and on, right? Dallas, name it. You got all these big cities that have funneled all these big black athletes in so that all the people in the city can come see them, and everybody. All races come to the game. By the way, 68% of the people on the field are black. 68% of the people in the fans and watching on TV are white, which goes to show you no racism involved. All they want to see is pugilism. They want to see people go at it, in whatever form. They want to see gladiators war in the middle of an arena and go home. But no, we got to get all the political stuff. But in every one of these cities, bar none, there was somebody black that killed somebody black. Guarantee you. I don't have to go, I wonder, statistically, is that even not possible? Yeah, it's statistically not possible. It's like winning the lotto. In every city where they played a football game on Sunday, Saturday night, or sometime leading up to the football game, somebody black kills somebody black. Guarantee you. If you want, we'll go look it up. I asked my team to do this because we're putting out a meme. So this occurred, and not a single one of these black players that took a knee can tell you one person who was killed in any city. Not one. And statistically, I feel very safe on that. But they can tell you that Anthony Lamar Smith got killed, a guy who was trying to ram a cop car and then tried to escape. They can tell you all about him. They can tell you all about Michael Brown and all these other lies. All the people that they're going to tell you about, by the way, are people who try to elude the cops or kill the cops. But black folks will blame the cops. But these wife beaters will take a knee over this nonsense. They won't take a knee over 300% more abortions in the black community than in any other ethnicity. They won't tell you about that. They won't complain about Planned Parenthood talking about the running under the ruse of women's rights and putting their locations in black neighborhoods to kill black babies at 300% the per capita national average of blacks. They won't talk about that. They won't talk about all these schools where girls are being assaulted, where boys are being beaten up, where blacks are not getting educated. They won't talk about that. They won't talk about the crime in black neighborhoods in general, the black on black crime, in any way, shape, or form. They will talk about the number of businesses that don't exist in these black neighborhoods. Ask these fools if they're going to put a business there. Find one. Emmett Smith started doing cellular stuff, right? And I know Emmett. And Emmett put his stuff in North Dallas, in Plano, near Plano, and Carrollton. He didn't put anything over in South Dallas. Now, I'm not mad at him. I don't blame him. What, you want to get your store robbed every other night? But I'm just saying, they can talk a good game, but they're not doing anything. They could take a knee for a lot of stuff. They could take a knee for domestic violence. They could take a knee for the 72% of black babies born out of wedlock. They could take a knee for the number of kids in the black community whose fathers have abandoned them. They could take a knee for all the single black mothers who are being forced to raise children under the most abject circumstances. Do you think any one of these silly Negroes is going to give any money to these single ladies? Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies. Yeah, come on, Beyonce. You're worth billions. She will profiteer on every single thing that comes out that's black versus white and won't help all the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies. Yeah, she'll sing about them. She'll tell them, get to the club. Hey, go to the club. Find that next baby daddy that ain't going to take care of his kids. That's not going to marry you. Yeah, all the single ladies. And you know who's out there showing them the way? All these black athletes. Yeah, hands up, don't shoot. X. Take a knee. This nation sucks. Why do I need to be standing up for an anthem in a country that doesn't care nothing about me? Oh, really? So a country doesn't care anything about you, but you make millions of dollars playing a sport, and who's paying that paycheck? I'm just curious. Oh, these white guys. But guess what? The left wants to sell it that Donald Trump is going after these black athletes. Why? Because they're black. Not because they're anti-American. Not because they're disingenuous, lying skanks. No, it's because they're black.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.